Okay, now what charges were you facing exactly?
Murder charges, racketeering, and conspiracy. Conspiracy to racketeer.
How many charges altogether?
I mean, me personally, like when I went to jail, all open charges, I had 30-some open charges, but charges from an indictment, I had just 3.
Facing 30 charges, facing an indictment, if you were found guilty, what were you facing?
I mean, on the news, they promised the public that we would get no less than 50 years just for the indictment. So, I mean, you know, me going to jail and turning myself in, I really went in there blind thinking I wouldn't get out like no time soon.
Now, explain the process, okay? These charges are, you're charged with these charges.
Right.
And do you surrender? Do you find out about these charges and you surrender and take yourself in? They find you and they take you in?
You want to know my process? I can't tell you nobody else's process. I mean, I went about, I guess I'll just tell you how it happened. I mean, I get a call saying my cousin was shot, so I'm rushing down there to see what's up with him, you know, see how this is going to play out. But as this going on, I get another call saying, he called me on the phone. I'm like, what's up? He like, what's up, bitch? I'm like, you good? He like, yeah. I'm like, well, look, call me when you get home. He hung up the phone. I call the phone right back. My auntie answered the phone. He like, yeah, they're arresting him for racketeering. I'm like, man, what the fuck is racketeering? She like, I don't know. I'm like, I don't know either. It don't sound good though. I threw my phone. So my partner, he gets a call saying they want him down to the station. I'm telling him not to go, so he goes anyway. They arrest him. And my other auntie called me. She like, man, look, your mom over here. Your mama said get the fuck. They just arrested her too, racketeering. So I called my people. I'm like, man, look, they just arrested my mom. And we charge racketeering. I don't know what that is, but come get me. I gotta get the fuck. You know what I mean? So that's really the beginning of that shit, how that played out. You know, from there, I ran. I was scared. I didn't know what the fuck racketeering was. Fuck, you know?
So you're on the run, and they eventually get to you?
Man, I done ran from the people, like, plenty of times, like, from city to city. It wasn't no, they ain't catch me. I had to turn myself in for them to catch me, but like, I done ran from city to city on feet in just my boxes, like, so eventually I had to turn myself in. I was on a property bond. I never let them take my people house, so when them 90 days came up, you know, I had to go handle my business, turn myself in.
So you turn yourself in.
Right.
Had an attorney.
Yeah, I got one of the best attorneys around my way.
How does one go about finding an attorney? Is it a referral thing? Is it researching?
I mean, you know, me being in the streets, I know certain people who beat certain cases, and pretty much all my same partners who've been through the same situations I'm going through, they had that attorney.
I see.
You know?
So you have the attorney, you turn yourself in, and you remain in jail for these charges?
I sat in jail like damn near 2 years fighting charges.
They didn't give you a bond?
No, yeah, $1 million bond. Everybody, 17 people on a gang indictment, $1 million bond for everybody. But you know, I sat in jail like my first 3 months. I got booked in on racketeering and conspiracy and gang act. And like 3, 4 months later, my partner wakes me up. I'm in my rack. He wakes me up. He's like, man, look, they want you at the door. So I goes to the door. They put me in handcuffs. I'm like, man, where I'm going? They're like, they want you in the warden's office. I'm like, I don't want to talk. They're like, shit, you got to go. So I goes in there. I walks in. They got the homicide detective sitting down. So I'm like, what's up? He like, sit down. I'm like, man, I'm good. I want to go back where I come from. He like, man, sit the fuck down. So I sits down. So he like, he pulls out some pictures and shit, the body or whatever. So I'm like, why you showing me this? He like, you know why? I'm like, who is this? He like, you know. I'm like, man, look, you playing all type of games. told you I don't want to talk. Like, you just keep talking. You're like, man, I'm not gonna lie. Everybody told me I'm coming out here to talk to you, waste my time. I'm like, you know what, you right. You should have listened to him. You hear me? I don't want to talk. So he give me my arrest warrant. He like, well, I figured you would want to talk because all the other shit you got going on and this and that. I just want you to tell me who was with you. I'm like, man, like, I don't know what you talking about. They sent me back. So now on top of the racketeering, I'm charged with murder. You hear me? I went to court like a month later. They ended up booking me. Shit like that. That's how that went.
Now, on the murder charge, did they have a bond for that too?
The bond went number like $250,000. But on top of my $1 million and my other charges, I had that my bonds got pulled. That really ain't do nothing, to be honest.
So if you wanted to bond yourself out, you would have to at least put 10% down, I imagine?
Right.
So 10% of $1 million is $100,000.
Right. And I really ain't got $100,000 in cash, and you know, I don't know who got $100,000 to just bring to a jail, you know.
And that's the very least way to do it.
Right.
Some people can put the whole thing up and get their money back, but with 10%, I don't think you get your money back.
I don't know how that goes, to be honest.
Now, when it comes to you sitting in jail for 2 years,
right?
What are you thinking? What's going through your head?
Man, I gotta get out of here. Like shit really crazy. Like, just how you think. You know, I've been back and forth to juvenile detention all my life, but fuck, like, I went to LTI. I got out of LTI, juvenile detention, and 3 weeks later I got indicted. So now it's the big boy shit. Like, I'm in real niggas around. I'm around people who got life and shit like that. So niggas getting stabbed and damn near killed in this bitch every day. Like, so me being around this shit, it really fucked me up more than I was, to be honest. But it taught me how to think a lot more also. So every day I'm thinking, like, I get up, say my prayers, like, man, just let me make it back to my family. That's what I think every day.
Did you think you were gonna be able to beat this?
In the beginning, no. Like, I just said, fuck it, it is what it is, you know?
Go ahead.
As it played out, like, I'm saying, like, I'm just getting blessed from a bond reduction to, you know, just simple shit like motions going through and shit like that. So, you know, shit like that.
They did reduce the bonds?
Yeah, they reduced like 10-hour bonds from $1 million to $100,000. But like 2 of my partners, they left their shit at $500,000, and one of them just came home. But yeah, so after the bond reduction, that shit really, like, it gave a lot of us hope to see daylight again.
But you never did bond out?
Yeah, I did bond out.
You did bond out?
Yeah, after, all I was really waiting on was for the murder charge to get dropped. But I went to the hole. I ended up getting shipped. I went to the hole. I stayed in lockdown like 50 days. But my partner got a cell phone there, so I called my people. They're like, man, the murder charge just got dropped. This like a whole year later. But on the murder charge, I ain't have no kind of evidence or nothing, so the shit should have been got dropped. But a year later, the murder charge got dropped. After that happened, like 2-3 weeks later, I ended up bonding out. So, you know. Now,
you said at first you might have not been able to beat this. That was your thought. What was your lawyer thinking this whole time?
He looked at the indictment. He laughed at it. Yeah, he laughed at it. I was really just fucked up because through all this shit, you know, like, I affected my family. Like, my mama had to go to jail and shit like that for something that really, all the shit is really false anyway, but something that she had no knowledge of nobody in this whole indictment. She barely know these people, so that's what really had me fucked up, you know.
Now, why did you have to sit for so long? 2 years, that's no joke.
I mean, I was really just, I'm waiting on, it's really a money situation because me and my brother was on the charge, and they got him first because his bond was lower than mine. You know, I had the extra charges and shit. So it was like every chance I get to getting close to bonding out, they hit me with something else. Like they hit me with the murder charge. And when this about to get dismissed, now they put that shit called a contempt of court on me. So I gotta wait till, it was all kind of shit, like just pushing it back. Whenever I go to bond reduction, they'll push it back. Whenever I go to get the charges dropped, they push it back. It's like they just playing all type of games. Like when we went to court, we was supposed to go home this day, everybody. Man, but we talking about it on the way to court. So the guard like, y'all ain't going home today. So I'm like, man, I really slap the fuck out you playing me like that. I know I'm going home, I'm loose as a motherfucker. So we gets in there, the guard, this CO, he goes tell the judge that I said that I was gonna kill him. Like just out of the blue. And he called the state troopers, everybody, like whole fucking SWAT team, they done blocked the whole courthouse off. Police following us all the way back to North Louisiana, that's like 4 hours away from where we live at. Like this shit was crazy. It was buku shit they had going on to try to keep us in a fucking cage, you know?
Now, as you're sitting, what eventually ends up happening on how you beat this? Were just charges dropped? Did they take it to some sort of trial?
I had to,
Did you request for a speedy trial? How did it end up to so 2 years have gone by.
I ain't request for no speedy trial. It was like, you know, I'm knowing I'm a bond out, so I don't want to push the trial no faster. But like, I should have been speedy trial and shit. But we ended up getting a letter from the Supreme Court saying that the judge overruled his power, and that everybody's for to be released immediately, you know, and they still ain't release everybody. So, I mean, once that came about and still was nothing going on, like the court's not doing anything, my people just came snatch me, like, you know. I went to court Monday, and we were supposed to get the charges dropped again now. They ended up, something about the judge was on vacation or something like that, so I bonded out with a property bond. But they didn't want to take my property bond, saying that the property is not from our parish, but then the Constitution, my lawyer put up the papers, the Constitution says, whatever the fuck it say, that you ain't got no choice but to take this as long as it's in the same district. And they like the sheriff said he do what he want. That's what he told my parents, like, I do what I want. So they asked for something in writing, you saying you do what you want, he didn't want to give it. So they ended up working something, my lawyer did some shit, and you know, he made all the shit work out.
So you sat for 2 years.
Right.
You bond out. At what point does this letter come? From the time you were bonded out to you receiving the letter, how much time is in between?
The letter from the Supreme Court?
Yes.
Man, this was about like a good 4 to 5 months for sure.
4 to 5 months out on bond.
No.
The letter comes.
No, before I got out, the letter came.
Oh.
The letter came before I got out. And 4 or 5 months later, I bonded out. Like the Supreme Court said, let them out. And the parish judge said, no, I'm not letting them out. Yeah, shit fucked up where I'm from.
So even though a Supreme Court said to let you out, a local judge said, no, we're keeping you in.
Right.
And that's why it took 4 to 5 months before you actually were able to bond out?
No, if it was up to them, like, I'd have still been. What really took me to bond out was getting the murder charge dropped. That's all I was waiting on. But it was up to them, and them charges being dropped, I'd still be in jail right now. It was all up to, like, a money situation where I couldn't make a racketeering bond and a murder bond, so it was either one get dropped, then I'm a bond out on the other.
Sounds very confusing.
It is, really.
Sounds like it's a lot going on.
I mean, you know, it's like, I really explained it the best way I could.
Yeah.
You know?
So, Supreme Court says, let's let him loose. Judge keeps you in there 4 to 5 months. But why bond out if the Supreme Court says, hey, let him loose? Why is there even a bond? Because there's other charges that haven't been dropped?
You know, it's the point. The whole point of bonding out is because they been playing games with our court date and dropping the charges. Like till the day I go to court this month again. Just last month it got pushed back. This month it's gonna get pushed back again. So if I didn't bond out, I'd still be in jail right now. And no telling how much longer because court dates that just keep getting pushed back and back. You know.
I see.
But we been got the letter to get released, and we still haven't been released. So it's like we just fuck really.
Now, when you first got out, because you were sitting for 2 years.
Right.
When you first got out, what was that like? What were you thinking?
Man, I ain't believe it. Like I really couldn't believe it. Me going there when they told me to pack my shit. I packs up and they transfer me back to our parish. And once I get there and I'm waiting to be released, they tell me, yeah, we lost your paperwork. I'm like, fuck you mean you lost my paperwork? Bitch, y'all gotta let me out this bitch. Like, man, we lost your paperwork. I got to cutting up and down, I'm kicking doors and everything. You hear me? But it took about like 5 hours and they finally ended up letting me out. I just told my people, man, drive this bitch. We got to get the fuck away from here.
First thing you did when you got out?
My grandmother lived like down the street from the jail, so I put up over there. They got the whole hood out. Like the whole neighborhood is out here. Like 100 people down there. Like they showed me real love out there. Like that was just how I imagined in my head of going home. That shit was fire.
Now, lawyer fees can be expensive.
Right.
From start to finish, what does something like this cost?
I know from me catching like my first charge to up to now, it's been more than $250,000 worth of lawyer fees. Like, so, man, I remember, look, my dad came visit me one day. He like, man, like just on this case, right, child, and spent like the shit I done spent on this case, nigga. You could have bought you a house with this. I mean, I really sat down and I thought about it. I'm like, fuck. You know what I mean? That's why I'm trying my hardest to make shit run and so I could give that shit back to him.
Freedom is not free.
It really ain't, to be honest.
Now, let's say somebody's going through a similar situation.
Right.
They're facing some serious charges that could put them away, like you said, for 50 years, maybe more.
Right.
They're fighting it. And circumstances could be different. Each circumstance is unique, but is there any general advice you would tell somebody facing a serious charge that they're innocent of, that they're having a tough time with fighting?
Either way it go,
tell somebody like that?
However the situation is, keep your fucking mouth shut. You hear me? Keep faith in God, cause He gonna make a way no matter what. You hear me, man? Fuck, just keep studying your case and don't depend on your lawyer, nobody else. Depend on yourself. Ain't nobody gonna fight like you gonna fight. You read your own case, you get in them law books and you do your own work and make a way for yourself. I had a partner I was locked up with. He got life in the feds, but he got the same charges I got. I'm looking at his case and it's basically the same shit as mine. And it's like he got life for this shit, but it's just, faith in God, shit work out mysterious ways. Like, it's always got to wait no matter what.